Hey, good morning. Actually, sorry, at this point, good afternoon and happy Easter 2022, Wolf Pilot fans. You can only guess where I'm at. I'm in the hangar at Fox 69 and we're gonna continue working on 44 Tango to get her back up in the air. Today, my tasks are multiple. We got lots going on here. All the stuff here on the back of the engine has to come off. Starters, magnetos, vacuum pumps and the related plumbing and all that jazz. All that stuff needs to go. Uncle Steve has tasked me with, let's see if I can get a good shot of this, has tasked me with going up here and cleaning off the remainder of these intake gaskets. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. That should be interesting. I don't know if there's I don't know if I have a proper scrapage tool. As you can see here is kind of a little stuff flake off, maybe the appropriate straight edge. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So I'm going to scrape and a little bit there, and then I'm also going to attempt to start dismantling some of the stuff here on the back of the engine as well. It appears that our oil has finished draining. That's completely awesome. I might pull that oil filter out here in a minute too and wipe it down really good and clean it up and screw it back on the housing. We're gonna do something new this time, and Steve and I have discussed this. They have a torque spec for this filter. It's ridiculous. If you torque this thing to 24 foot-pounds, you will never get it off. It is just stupid. And I was telling him, for the given oil pressure, which normally on this thing is 40 PSI maybe, I used to drive a 2006 Dodge Ram Cummins pickup truck with 5.9 liter inline six Cummins. That thing would see 65, 70 PSI oil pressure. And when I put the oil filter on the side of that thing, I did it hand tight only, never used a wrench, ever in the 200,000 miles that I had ran that engine. Never had a leak, never had nothing. So that's what I'm gonna do on this one. Hand tight only, of course it'll be safety wired in the correct direction. Anyhow, I would say, let me get started and we'll see what we can do. All right, so grab this old filter. The idea was that we just dump out the oil. Filter's got about 20 more hours of life left on it. So I'm going to take Mr. Filter here. He's pretty cleaned up. We're going to prime him and screw him back on here. Let's see, I can also close the valve on Mr. Oil Drain. Let's see, we don't have too much other crap in the way here. Stuff back over to the appropriate location. Something else that's usually a good idea, if you're moving big containers of oil, you have the ability to seal that container before you move it. So this is one of these awesome 5-gallon buckets. I drive a Ford Excursion with a 6-liter Power Stroke diesel. So when I change my oil, I don't get little quarts. I get one of these. Oh crap. There we go. Should have done it the first time. These big old 5-gallon bucket jobbies right over here. And so this is our official waste oil bucket that we will take to O'Reilly or Walmart, whoever's convenient, and we will empty it. So we always have plenty of room for oil changes and whatnot. Wolf Pilot recommends Aeroshell W100. One thing you learn in flight school, it lubricates, it cools, it cleanses, and it cushions. That's a check right question, according to Jeff Wallach. So what we're going to do here is take a little bit of this cooling, cleansing, conditioning oil. I'm going to preload this oil filter, which will aid and assist the engine in the next startup. Oh, you little freak. Even though I did suggest that another way of preloading the oil system, kind of right up here to the top. Also, this is a Grandpa Tim trick. A little dab on your finger, and you pre-lubricate the gasket. And that will assist you in getting this oil filter off when the time comes. Namely, the next oil change. Stick him on here like so. Screw him back on. And I will continue tightening him. All right, him is hand tight. That's all we're doing on that. This world is fun. All right, folks. Get this into the shot, and the audio is probably gonna suck. I need to get a dead cat for this deal. So, as you can see, probably get a bird's eye view. These are the, I guess you could call them headers, for lack of a better word. And I gotta get these squirrely, these intake gaskets to come off of here. Wow, that's gonna, I almost need some sort of, golly, because they are welded. Oh my gosh. All right, Steve, this is greatness. See if I don't get copy struck for the music. So the tool I'm using is obviously, it looks like a cake decorating blade, perhaps. Something probably picked up at a garage sale. One thing that all discerning hanger-rats should fully understand is when working on aircraft, sometimes you have to improvise your own tools. As long as you do not damage or destroy the fasteners, unless that's your intention, you know, maybe the dumbest crap you got laying around will help you get something off, because as my uncle will attest, on 4-4 Tango, there's so much stuff that Cessna just absolutely did not even think about. If you need to replace this part, if it has a shorter service life, how in the hell do you get that part out? Because it's got 4 things in the way. Thank you, Cessna. You suck. But we love you anyway. On and off basis. Now, if you're Kim and Chris, you might say, yeah, to hell with Cessna. We're flying a Piper. Beechcraft. Barren life. That's cool. I'm sure it has its own idiosyncrasies, and inability to get to certain things during annual that just make the job an absolute nightmare.
Now you're biting the cost of an all-access membership or just 1 month.
Well, we got done with the left bank, so now we'll get to crank it up on this other bank. Let's see, shot here, figure out. Well, without boring you to death with incessant scraping, got most of the gasket material off of these mating surfaces. A couple pieces here I could get in there, could probably do a little bit better. But so now it's time, if I really want to clean it up, I need to come up with an interesting accoutrement for the whiz wheel. Some Scotch Brite or something to get the rain of that gasket off. Make sure these things seal. So I'm gonna try that a little bit more, and then it'll be time to, you know what? I could probably go ahead and start pulling stuff off the engine. Starter, vacuum pump, magnetos. Maybe I'll get down to the generator. Get to blow Uncle Steve's mind. I can get that generator out of there. For finishing touches, Buffy Buff. Damn it. I invent air chucks that are universal. Well, cutting back in, a little bit of mess going on here, but so far we've got the starter, the vacuum pump, and I guess an oil canister reservoir of some kind. So the next big thing here is right-hand magneto. He's going to come out. Then I'll go and get left-hand magneto out, pull back, regroup, and see what it takes to get out of here for the day. All right, so of course starter's gone, vacuum pump's out, pulled the spark plug, God, what is in the old days we called this the distributor cap off the back of the magneto. Got one bolt out, now the other one's back here. If you'd see that thing. Now, if I was using my home tool kit, I'd have a doggone finger ratchet, just because the Wolf Pilot is also a good mechanic, and I'm not one of those guys like my dad. My dad, who I fault a lot, is one of those guys that has an it'll do. Oh, that wrench doesn't fit, but it'll do. I don't do it'll do's. It'll do's are for dumbasses. So I figure how the hell I'm supposed to get. There we go. Using the bottom and do it that way. All right, I'll stop this recording before I lose all the hardware down the back of the engine, and we'll have the magneto off. All right, and just like that. Now ordinarily I do like a little snap like that, and poof, we do a jump cut. But so I got this sucker off, and I've got, oh, I think I see one of my missing pieces, a washer down there for the vacuum pump. So I get the little magnet out, and I'll grab that. There's another washer. It's floating around some. Actually, I wonder if I can just. Yeah, that's little hands. So that completes all the hardware for the vacuum pump. See here, so washer, lock washer nut there. Missing the lock washer for this right magneto. I heard it fall because I pulled the magneto off, had my hands underneath of it. Oh, I think I see it, actually. I wonder if it fell down and immediately got sucked into the generator. Well, there's a magnet in there, so that makes all the sense in the world, and I don't see it just laying the hell around. So let's get this other magneto out of here, and we'll pull back, regroup, and see if we can't solve that problem.
Knobs.
Oh, your
Yeah.
AN fittings?
Yeah, they must be 5/8 maybe. Let's try that. And the socket will get one of those out.
All right, folks, just doing a quick status update here. Got a lot of stuff off and ran into a snag getting the generator off because the bottom bolt is being interfered with by an oil filter adapter for an external oil filter at the bottom of the block. And so Steve showed up because I had questions about that.
And we took 13 things off just to get to one thing. And we're still not really to it.
It's like working on a Toyota, where, you know, to change a headlight, you got to take out the radiator, the alternator, the air, you know, everything, the air filter, the battery, and then you can get to the headlight.
You know, it's funny, I can see it even.
Good thing I have this little small GoPro. I can almost get a good action shot of you working the wrench on that fitting.
And that's blind luck.
What a pain in the ass. Bill Goebel will appreciate this. Won't you, Bill? Make a snarky comment in the comments below. Especially if you've done this before and you have a special tool in your toolbox to do it, and you're probably laughing, saying, "Those two mopes doing this with a bobby pin, a paper clip, and a piece of chewing gum, like we're MacGruber or somebody."
The hardest part is when you get tired, then you start turning about the wrong direction. And then that magnet in there doesn't help.
Because it could take the bolt and suck it in.
Well, I don't care if it does that, because if I can get it off, I can get it out.
That's true. Well, we're going to get it off. That's a foregone conclusion. Just depends how many busted knuckles, bloody fingers, and swear words are involved.
At some point, I think I'm going to have to re-loosen the ones that we tightened up to keep it upright, because this nut's going to hit against the case. That's why I'm having such a hard time getting my wrench in and out.
Well, you have an open-end wrench, though.
Yeah, I know, but it has a lip on it, and it's getting caught on that case. Can you see it? Or you just feel it?
I see you're still turning it.
Yeah, I know, but we don't. See why I have such a hard time getting the wrench out every time?
Hold a second. Stand by. Hang on a
I
sec.
don't think you can turn it yet. You might with a glove finger.
Nope, it's still too tight. It's got to get past that nylon lock.
Yeah, but that nylon lock locks the last 3 threads in the bottom of the nut.
I thought it was at the top.
Yeah, I know, but you're right. It is at the top part of the nut. And these shouldn't be nylon, really.
They should be those metal ones.
It should be. I'm not going to argue with it. It's on the engine. In the engine compartment, you're supposed to use the metal ones, but I'm sure they went away a long time ago. Frankly, if it was me, I would replace it with just a lock washer and a little Loctite, and to say to heck with that nylon lock nut.
If it was me, there'd be a...
Do the next mechanic a favor.
Well, if it were me, there'd be a PlaneSmart alternator here that doesn't have the nuts hidden in here because the alternator's smaller. And
They do the same way, don't they?
Not quite.
They're a little more open, aren't they? They're on a flange and not a closed
That's right.
flange.
They're on a flange because the alternator itself is smaller. It's got a neck that sticks out, kind of. So you got this flat flange that you have all kinds of easy access to. Let me stick my finger.
Oh, one more turn. Okay. I don't think you can yet. You got a glove finger?
No. So glove fingers. No, I can't spin it. Glove finger's not. I'm just gonna. The glove will just slip on the oil. At least I've got some tread on my fingerprints.
This is what old David Noel used to say. Well, you just worry it out. What does that mean, David? He says, just worry about it, keep worrying about it, and it'll come out sooner or later. Are you crazy?
Yeah, you get a quarter of a turn on each. You know
I'm
what?
not getting a quarter of a turn. I'm only getting about an 8.
I think you might actually be right there. Let me try it again. Hang on a sec.
Not yet?
Yep, I got it. I am turning it. Oh, damn.
Are you moving it?
Yes, I am moving it. All right, it's rolling in my finger. Like the Fast and the Furious to this afternoon. All right. Oh, it's out. Of course, now it's in the generator, but whatever. It's out.
Somewhere where we can get it.
Yes, it is. All right, folks, let me get to this. I'll be right back. And we fade back from black. All right, folks, it is 6:30. See, the sun is kind of setting over here at Fox 69.
Yep.
So Steve came over and
we got that generator off.
we got that sumbitch out of there. It was incredibly tight to wiggle it through there, but it's out. Magnetors are out. The crossover tube for the intake plenum is out. Got all the stuff over here laid out on the bench. Magnetos, generator, starter. Oh, this thing here. Everybody say bye-bye to the vacuum pump and all this related nonsense and malarkey. It's history. We're gonna get some AV30s. Just no more vacuum system, no more air filters, that shit. Anyway, just want to make a kind of wrap-up video for today. What'd you say, Steve? I did about 1 week's worth of work in one day.
One day.